There are truly great people in this world. And one of the greatest people that this world has ever known, Nelson Mandela, said, "It always seems impossible until it's done." And that's the thing about greatness. That's the thing about achievement. That's the thing about setting your sights on something and actually accomplishing it. Not only is it going to seem impossible, there's going to be a voice inside your head screaming that it is in fact impossible. And that voice is going to be echoed by virtually everyone you know outside telling you that it's simply impossible. It's not that they don't love you. In fact, they're telling you that precisely because they love you. They don't want to drag you down. They want to lift you up. They want to see great things happen for you, but they can't see it. They can't see the vision. And that's what makes you you. You're able to see something that other people can't see, and in that, if you can ignore the voice inside of you, if you can meet with compassion and empathy the people who will live their entire lives in total blindness to opportunity because all they have ever tasted is fear, then you'll be able to accomplish something. You'll be able to find the things that other people can't find because you've worked on building a mind that is truly extraordinary because it is able to see things that don't exist. It's able to create things that don't exist. It's able to look beyond the impossible and seeing that for what it is, a mindset, and a mindset that can be changed. As William Shakespeare said, cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. And that's how you have to be. You have to believe in yourself. You have to know that no matter what comes your way, the only thing that you will not forgive yourself for is cowardice. The only thing that you will detest in yourself, that you will find disgusting inside of you, is if you look at the impossible and accept it as that. The biggest mistake that you could make isn't to say something is possible when it's not. The biggest mistake you could make is to say something is impossible before you know that to be true. And that's what you have to focus on, is knowing that no matter how bleak and terrifying it looks, no matter how impossible that fearful voice inside your head may want you to believe that it is, that's the cowardice. And you've got to be willing to push through. It's okay to have the voice, but it's not okay to listen to it. As Ray Bradbury said, the best scientist is open to experience and begins with romance. The idea that nothing is impossible. That's where you have to find. That's what you have to tap into. You have to click over and find that beautiful thing. Fear is something that you move away from. It isn't the thing that drives you forward. Fear only pushes you away. But beauty, finding that thing that you want to create, knowing what your life's mission is, knowing that you have purpose, and knowing that you will fight through whatever it takes to reach that purpose, that you will acquire the skills that you need to do, that you will endure suffering, that you will do all that is demanded of you in order to get to the other side, in order to sculpt yourself, create yourself, make yourself into something new, something that is hard, something that is tough, something that can push past that, something that refuses to embody cowardice, something that hears the voice and does not listen, something that pushes forward and knows, even though it seems impossible, I can see a world where it's possible, and I can see a world where I'm the one that made that happen. But it starts with belief. It starts with believing in yourself. It starts with pushing through the cowardice. It starts with taking control of who you are and who you can be. So push through, because on the other side of that weak voice is the person you were meant to be.
What is it that gets you up in the morning and gets you excited? What do you want to do as a kid? How would you really go and make an impact on the world? For me, the world's biggest problems are the world's biggest business opportunities. Want to become a billionaire and help a billion people. There is nothing we cannot do. It's really a matter of setting a focused goal, because we have a target, you'll miss it every time. Picking a target and then picking the steps along the way, and realizing that all the resources, all the capital, all the expertise is there. But ultimately, it's only going to be tapped if that target is in your heart and your soul.
I think the challenge is a lot of people don't know what their vision is. They don't know exactly what they want. They think they know, but they haven't really written it down. They haven't told the world, or at least their close network of friends. They're just like, well, I'm supposed to have a good job, I'm supposed to be doing something inspiring, but they're not specifically saying it and specifically being intentional about it.
Ultimately, the thing that stops you is your mindset. Either you don't want to take the risk, you don't believe you truly can, and then the option there is to take it incrementally, take a first step.
A lot of you will block your own success because you're fearful of what's going to happen. Because the comfort zone is here. Make a great living, my bills are paid, everything is great. Oh, I'm scared to change. So you block your own growth. So you have to now say to yourself, hey, once you get the tools, once you've done your homework, then you can start making a move to say, okay, hey, I can be a businesswoman, a businessman, and start my own thing. But you gotta believe in yourself first.
You have to actually show up every day and inch yourself forward toward these dreams. And not only show up every day and once in a while inch yourself, I mean every day you have to actually take an action that moves you forward. Not just research, not just thinking. Look, the power of intention is great, but without any initiative, it's dead, right? A dream is great, but without any movement, it's dead. You have to be moving towards every day.
You want to be totally focused. You can't take your eye off the ball.
You cannot lose by taking action. You can only lose by not taking action. And if you delay taking action repeatedly over and over again, you develop the habit of never taking action. You develop the habit of procrastinating and holding back and so on.
Take action. So many people talk about doing something or say, what if? They don't actually get up and do it. Taking action is really, really important.
My advice is just to focus on each day. And you have a plan in place of how you want to improve and how you want to get better. And you stick to that plan and trust the fact that, every day that you stick to the plan will get you to your end result.
The key to being successful is to work harder than other people. Because everybody wants success. Everybody wants a Lamborghini. Everybody wants freedom. But what are you willing to do to get there?
So much of success is seeing yourself as victorious. You have to see yourself. You have to really believe in yourself. And sometimes it's hard. You've had failures, you've had weaknesses, you've had other things. You have to see yourself as a one-man band. Don't rely too much on other people because they'll let you down. You have to see yourself as victorious.
Anything and everything can be done if you can visualize it, if you believe in yourself.
To be a winner, you have to think like a winner. If you don't think like a winner, it's just never going to happen.
You're going to find the naysayers in every turn that you make. Don't listen. Just visualize your goal, know exactly where you want to go. Trust yourself. Get out there and work like hell and break some of the rules and never, ever be afraid of failure.
The time is now. The time is now to express and for people to believe in themselves. The time is now for it to be okay to be great.
When you look at the accomplishments of accomplished people and you say, boy, that must have been really hard. When you look at something that looks hard, that was probably easy. And conversely, when you look at something that looks easy, that was probably hard. And so you're never gonna know which is which until you actually go and do it. So just go and do it, try, learn from it. You'll fail at some things. That's a learning experience that you need so that you can take that on to the next experience. Don't let people who you may respect and who you believe know what they're talking about, don't let them tell you it can't be done. Because often they will tell you it can't be done. It's just because they don't have the courage to try it.
The bridge between reality and a dream is work. And I always, in moments of despair and doubt and dark days, focus on the work. I show up and I work and I work and I work and I work.
You'll never be the best looking, you'll never be the tallest, most talented, most capable, you'll never have the most money. There will always be someone who's better at whatever you're doing than you are. But you can always be the hardest working person in the room. And I think the hardest working person will always win.
Hard work pays. I put in a hell of a lot of work all throughout this build-up in the fight. I pumped out more content than anybody, more content than Fox, more content than ESPN, more content than BT Sport, more content than everybody on the Mac Live on my own channels. You know what I mean? I'm a workhorse from all angles, not just in the gym. I'm building this media empire now myself, and we pumped out the content. I'm very proud of how it went. We consistently, daily movies I was releasing, you know, from like a month ago, every single day. You know what I mean? Nobody's doing that. So I'm very proud of it, and I'm very, like, the work pays, hard work pays.
I don't think there's any magic in being successful. And I'm not talking about making $1 million or $1 billion. I'm just talking about being successful. I don't think there's any magic. You gotta work hard, you gotta respect the people around you, and you just gotta go. I've never met a successful person that doesn't work hard.
To me, failure in life is not having money. It's not realizing your potential. You're 60 years old and you said, I could have been this, and I never did it. That's like the worst thought I think anybody can have. And you don't think about it in the moment because your life is okay, but you've got to wake up and understand that there's an urgency here, and that if you're not practicing something now, if you're not aware, if you don't have a path towards something better, you're rotting on the vine, and the day of reckoning will come at some point, and it will be painful.
My mother beat the shit out of me. She loved me. She was freaked out I was gonna leave. I was a source of everything. I blame her for all the beauty in my life. I blame her that I have the woman I have in my life because I cherish my wife, because I know what the opposite is. I blame her for the capacity to feel and care. I blame her for my insatiable hunger to end suffering for any human I can. Because I suffered a ton. If she had been the mother I had wanted, I would not be the man I am proud to be.
Embrace pain. Pain is something to embrace. If there's no resistance to you, you're not going to get anywhere in life.
Problems are what make us grow. Problems are what sculpt our soul. Problems are what make us become more. If we can realize that life is always happening for us, not to us, game over. All the pain and suffering disappears. When someone says it took 10 years to make a change, what you really find out is that change happened in a moment. It took you 10 years to get the moment you finally said, never again. I quit. Let's begin. I love you. I do. It's over. Our entire life changes in a moment.
You got to know what you're good at. You got to know what you're marginal at, and you got to know what you suck at. And you've got to find people who complement your skills, you know, and you got to know what type of thinker you are. You got to know how you work, you know. And once you start to understand who you are, then you can start finding places where you'll be successful, and you won't be lying to yourself.
You can have any habit you want to be. You can be lazy, you can be prompt, you can be late, you can be honest, you can cut corners. I mean, you have all these choices. And those are choices for you to make. Nobody else is going to make them for you. And I would suggest that you play this little game with me too. Think about the person you would most like to be in life. So maybe it's one of your contemporaries, maybe it's somebody a little older, but pick out the person you admire the most, the person that you'd change places with if you could. And then write down why you admire them. Just put it on a piece of paper. And then figure out the person that you would least like to change places with you, who really turns you off, who you find repulsive. And list the reasons why that person turns you off so much. And then look at that list. And you'll find that everything on the left-hand side, what you admire in other people, the qualities they bring to life, you'll find those are things you can do yourself. It's very simple. You got to apply yourself, but the habits you form in doing that early on will carry you through life. If you do that, 2 or 3 years from now, if you go through the same exercise, you'll find out that the person you admire the most is yourself.
still.